Good evening to one and all. It's again yet another session of Learn by Chapter, where we are talking about pedagogies, curriculum adoption, adaptation, and the changes which can take over the learning environment that will make our learning environment a better place to learn and also make our learning experience more exciting, happy, and joyful one for all our learners. So on that note, we have been speaking about multiple intelligences, Bloom's taxonomy, and also like different methods of teaching methodologies, and talking about learners, how to enhance the learner's learning experience in terms of developing their quotients, that is intelligence quotient, emotional quotient, social quotient, adversity quotient, and thus making and providing them as making it as a holistic quotient for the learner to achieve success in the learning and the success criteria. So on that note, this Sunday, we have gathered on this platform to talk about neurodiversity. And this neurodiversity, many of you might be knowing about it, it's more kind of a resilience factor. In the sense, when we talk about resilience factor, exactly, how does it really contribute to the learning process? Is that what we are going to see? That is, for any kind of understanding, the analogy of understanding, this neurodiversity is a movement which views classroom not as a factory line where every product, the student, must be identical, but as an ecosystem, in the sense like a forest, which needs different types of vegetation, like trees, plants, animals, to remain healthy and resilient. So this classroom also needs different types of minds to thrive, kind of a heterogeneous factor, by providing this inclusive strategies, which are otherwise called as nutrients for the trees, that each specific mind will become an entire forest of the classroom, which will become more stronger and more innovative. So today what we are going to see or explore is that more on cognitive sciences as a multifaceted field that investigates the human mind and its processes through various disciplines like psychology, neuroscience, and philosophy. But with a very significant focus on educational applications, highlighting how understanding cognitive domains such as memory, perception, logic can lead to more effective and inclusive strategies, teaching strategies. So the very text of it, neurodiversity, specifically advocates as a neurodiversity movement, framing its necessity for the vital social justice initiative that promotes the rights and inclusion for all the neurodivergent individuals within the classroom. So how do we cater to them? By utilizing the evidence-based methods like retrieval practices with the comparative learning. We as educators can better this collaborative relationship between the teachers and the students. Thereby, it will work on the brain research into the practical pedagogical excellence. So this holistic approach will create an equitable learning environment where every student is accepted as unique and this cognitive architecture is supported and celebrated in a classroom situation. So thereby, cognitive science, when it is said, when we are talking about cognitive science, it is also presented as a multidisciplinary factor with practical applications, which caters to this neurodiversity movement, thus reinforcing this goal as framing cognitive differences as a matter of social justice and human rights. And of course, Learn by Chapter has been one of the platforms which has been supporting this inclusive movement. So today we shall definitely see how it really matters in a classroom situation. How it matters in a classroom situation is that's what we're going to see. As a teacher, as an educator, every single word that we speak in a classroom environment really matters. It affects the minds of the learner in a major way. First, let me just share this video with you.
Imagine if your words had superpowers. What if saying thank you could make water beautiful? And what if saying I hate you could break it apart? Sounds like magic, right? But science might have something to say about it. Let's explore Dr. Emoto's incredible water experiment and what it means for you.
Hey there, amazing people. Welcome back to the channel. And today we're diving into a truly mind-blowing experiment that shows how words, thoughts, and music might affect water. But here's the real question. If words can change water, and we are mostly made of water, what does that mean for us? Stick around, because this might just change the way you think about your words forever. Dr. Masaru Emoto was a Japanese scientist who asked a big question. What if water could hear us? That might sound crazy, but his experiment got some shocking results that made people all over the world rethink the power of words. Here's what Dr. Emoto did. He took water from the same source and poured it into different bottles. He spoke different words to each bottle, some nice, some mean. He also played different music to some bottles, some peaceful, some angry. Then he froze the water and looked at the ice crystals under a microscope. And guess what happened? The water that heard kind words like love and thank you formed beautiful, perfect snowflake-like crystals. The water that heard mean words like I hate you became distorted, broken, and ugly. Even music made a difference. Classical music made the water look amazing, while heavy, chaotic music made the crystals look messy. It's as if water has feelings, or at least it reacts to energy. Now here's the big question. If water reacts to words, and our bodies are about 70% water, what do you think happens when we hear kind words? Good words equals good energy. Bad words equals bad energy. So, this teaches us a few super important lessons. Be kind with your words. They don't just affect others, they might even affect you. Surround yourself with good vibes. Music, words, and thoughts all have power. The world is listening. Imagine if we all spoke to nature, animals, and people with love. Could we create a better world?
So, as teachers, as educators in a classroom situation, what we speak in the classroom is the most important thing that is going to reflect on the learner. So this is the key thing, the baseline thing that we are going to see today. In that note, today, how these words spoken in the classroom, whether in the form of conversation or in the form of a lesson or even the reports that we give to the student, how does it affect the learner? And how we can affect it in a better way, that's what we are going to see today as neurodiversity. So on that note, please allow me to share the screen now.
Meet your brain. Weighing in at about 3 pounds, this single organ accounts for about 20% of your body's blood, oxygen, and energy usage. The brain houses 100 billion neurons, with each neuron having somewhere between 1,000 and 10,000 synapses, or connections to other neurons. Every thought, every action, and every memory is managed and stored in these neural pathways. What does this mean? Well, every brain is unique and uniquely organized. Yet historically, schools have educated students as if they had identical brains. In the drive to ensure standardized accountability, education has sought not to facilitate learning, but conformity. As the establishment of education systematically disassembles our students' creativity and motivation, students engage with new learning less and less and are not retaining learning in long-term memory. So how do we, the educators, design learning to facilitate this ultimate goal of long-term memory penetration? Well, we have to begin by hijacking their brains. There are basically two ways to do this, by providing the brain with a pleasurable experience or a painful one. Unfortunately, the more powerful of the two is pain. A teacher can prepare the most incredibly engaging lesson ever, but if the student is experiencing physical, social, or emotional pain, the pain will hold their attention rather than the learning. To stop this from happening, we must begin by ensuring that each student has a safe, risk-free learning environment. So that leaves pleasure as the best way to engage the brains of our students. To make learning pleasurable, it must be relevant, meaningful, and enjoyable. So just ask yourself one simple question. Would I enjoy sitting in my class all day, every day? But remember, every brain is unique. Therefore, when introducing new information, teachers must provide students with multiple entry points to the learning. This means drawing upon students' interests, prior knowledge, and past experiences. Then, students often need multiple solution paths to connect with the new learning. When new information is introduced, the brain has to find a way to reconcile it with prior learning. This process is called cognitive conflict. Teachers often try to shield their students from cognitive conflict because the process can be frustrating. But to truly ensure that the information is mastered, students must be allowed to struggle and resolve their cognitive conflict. So how do we motivate students to endure this struggle? Well, research into cognitive psychology tells us that there are three key ingredients to intrinsic motivation. The first is autonomy. Giving students opportunities to make meaningful choices during the learning process gives them a sense of empowerment. The second is connection. This ingredient has two pieces. Students need to connect to each other collaboratively and also to the real world. This satisfies a relational need in the brain that helps motivate students. The third is the pursuit of curiosity in the progression towards mastery. This requires a balance between two variables, challenge and ability. If the challenge is low and ability is high, the brain becomes bored. If a challenge is too high and the ability is too low, the brain becomes stressed. A balance is needed between the two. And when the brain finds a challenge that is perfectly balanced with ability, the result is called flow. And it is the most intense enjoyment of learning that the brain can experience. When the three ingredients of autonomy, connection, and progression towards mastery are mixed together in the brain, the result is a storm of motivation. But the brain still has two other key needs to be able to struggle through and resolve cognitive conflict. The first is activity. If the brain encounters new information in a passive state, the result is passive learning, which has little chance of being encoded in long-term memory. By activating the student's biology through movement and multisensory experience, the brain begins to experience active learning, which is much more memorable. The final ingredient for long-term memory learning is self-reflection. This is the pillar that sustains the student through the struggles of cognitive conflict to translate learning to long-term memory. When these brain-compatible strategies are applied every day in every class, the result becomes exponential. With each passing year, students recall more and more prior learning from long-term memory, and the cycle of learning only grows.
So celebrating neurodiversity, it promotes not only a healthy environment, but also social justice. And in the sense like it's otherwise called as a neurodiversity movement, which is a human right catering to social justice for each and every child in the classroom. So this is what the whole session is all about. And as teachers with due adherence, we are supposed to give due respect to this factor. So, this is what the whole nutshell of neurodiversity and how to handle the situation is given in that video. Let's connect the previous video on this one. As teachers, whatever we speak in the classroom really affects, because as we all know, 70% of the human body is made of water. And if we say that, if we are going to tell or the performance is poor, all these things really affect the child's mind. To avoid all those conflicts, to make the learning experience as a more exponential form, this is what we are going to see today, from mind science to classroom miracles, how this neurodiversity helps in the understanding of the brain and unlocks the potential of each student. First is actual situation, how to handle the situation, and the second video is a remedial to take it forward. Now we'll see through the sequence exactly how to really take it forward in our classroom situation to unlock the potential of every single student, because every child matters here, as this is more related to the inclusion movement. So how learn by chapter contributes to this aspect of it. That's what the whole program is all about, or the whole afternoon is all about. So cognitive science, as we have seen in the previous session as well, it's an interdisciplinary study of mind and its processes. Whether it is related to philosophy, linguistics, anthropology, neuroscience, artificial intelligence, or psychology, doesn't matter. It examines the nature, tasks, and functions of cognition, drawing from diverse fields, and it combines the insights of psychology, neuroscience, and linguistics, and philosophy, and computer science and anthropology, and provides us as a central tenet that with a complete understanding of the mind and the brain that can be attained only by studying at only one level. How does this happen? This happens with the core process of cognition, where cognition is a mental action of acquiring the knowledge, that's what we are doing in the classroom, and understanding through the thought process and the experiences, that is with the understanding related to the Bloom's taxonomy, so that you will be able to understand knowledge, understanding, application through experience and the senses. It includes a several distinct but interconnected process to give the output exactly with the synthesis and the evaluation level that comes with the follow process. So learning, when there is learning, the process of taking in new things or the new concepts, synthesizing the information and integrating it with the previous knowledge, that's what happens in the knowledge level, that is learning. So with the understanding, with the attention, with the focus to the specific stimuli of the environment in which the learner is there in the classroom, to hear it from the teacher or the learner or through any of the research work, the attention to detail is what is required with the ability of focus, with the perception of taking in the information through the senses and to respond to the interact with the world, that is relating education to life, relating education to nature, relating education to the learning experience of the practical experience is what is the perception is all about, and relating it to the memory part of it, what I have learned before and what am I learning now and what am I going to learn. So decoding it with the past, present and the future memory, the ability to encode, store and retrieve information. And finally, when it comes to engage, explore, experience, and express, when it comes to the express part of it, the language comes in the process. So the ability to understand and express the thoughts through spoken and the written words is what the whole core process of cognition is all about. And we are going to see how Learn by Chapter contributes to the whole process of cognition, with all the lesson plans, with the resources being used, where it is catering or it is really mapping it to the self-regulated learning process of the learner. So how does it related to the modern pedagogy? That's what we're going to see. That is guiding principle of modern pedagogy. Evidence of the cognitive science should inform the teaching practices, as the first base is that curriculum coherence, which is very, very important. Aligning to the curriculum content of teaching and assessment is a fundamental equity of high attainment. Second is that teacher support is the one, very, very important. Well-trained and well-supported teachers are the central to the high-quality pedagogy and the learner's well-being. Finally, third is that equity and the high attainment can be attained with hand-in-hand guidance, either by the learner with the teacher or with a supporter, the learning supporter, with dependable assessment, whether I have learned it correct, and whether the learning is actually taking place. What gives you the idea is the dependable assessment with the learning support and the equitable progression. So this is what Learn by Chapter does it through at every single part of it, whether it is the lesson plan, whether it is the resources being used, whether it is related to the STEM, whether it is related to multiple intelligences, whether it is incorporated with the NCRT guidelines. Everything is totally incorporated in the platform of Learn by Chapter, and that really enhances the whole process of the modern pedagogy with the evidence of cognitive science and the teaching practices. So from the theory to the practice, what really makes it successful is strengthening the learning with the retrieval practice. That is the elaborative study with the information being given. But what makes it perfect is the retrieval practice. Means practicing at every single time. How many times it is required, the learner is able to do. So the learners organize the new material and make connection, and often use a textbook or create something like a concept map. This is all using of the resources. But the learners actively retrieve the knowledge from the memory in response to the cue, and this construct the knowledge and making it very stronger with the PPP, that is practice makes a man perfect, with the retrieval practice method. So using the cognitive science, relating it to the cognitive science, Learn by Chapter really enhances this science of cognitive science, showing retrieval practice as a highly effective approach to improve the learning built on the 3 R's, that is recall, recognition, and the retrieval. So moving on, how does it really relate to the neurodiversity? That's what today we said that we will be seeing in the classroom situation. So what is this neurodiversity? It's a paradigm shift that helps us to look at the brain diversity as a form of biodiversity and cultural diversity. First, that looks at one's own brain diversity as a form of biodiversity, working with people in collaboration, that is with the peers or the teachers or with the community, to have a cultural diversity. That is what the whole framework of neurodiversity is all about. And it refers to many different types of neurological differences in people with dyslexia, dysprasia, autism, ADHD, etc., as many scientific names are given, where people quite literally think differently. That's what is the thing. And the focus on diversity rather than the disability. Accepting all these diverse thought processes in a classroom and helping them as the way they require, as it is required by them, we are administering the learning and the teaching methodologies. So the neurodiversity movement is a human rights and social justice movement for all the neurodivergent humans. So how Learn by Chapter helps in the whole process, that's what we are going to see. So what is needed in the whole process is a growth paradigm to replace that deficit paradigm. In the sense, not talking about the shortcomings, not talking about the, in the sense like the deficiencies, but instead of that, talking about the strength and the what all the potentiality that the child is having, and modifying the whole learner's process or the teaching process to cater to that. So this deficit paradigm, which was a past, it has a history of harmful labels such that moron, feeble-minded, brain damage, or educationally handicapped, and leaving aside all those things. The future is for the unlocked potential in the 21st century. We are discovering people with neurodiversities that possess gifts that often dovetail with cutting-edge careers in information technology, entrepreneurship, and science. It's time to help our students affirm these positive futures for themselves. So neurodiversity is a spectrum of strength. In the sense, it's a complex spectrum of all the strengths. These are not exactly deficiencies, but these are strengths of the students, which we have to address in their own capacities, and we will be able to go about it. Say if at all the child is dyslexia, means the child has a very has its major strength in visual thinking, creativity, and 3D mechanical skills. So we need to modify our lesson plan to address the dyslexia side with all these strengths. If the child is having ADHD problem, the child is with having a lot of energy and the passion and creativity and with hyper focus. So we need to cater them with that particular aspect of it, such that we don't look at it as a deficit, but we look at it as a strength, and we address it in that such a way. If the child has an autism spectrum condition, that is ASC, means is very honest, means the child has a lot of concentration with fine detailing to the processing and has very good memory. So we need to modify our approach, our pedagogy to cater to these aspects of it. When the child has dyscalculia, means the child has verbal skills and innovative thinking, such that if we incorporate all these things in our lesson plan and our teaching methodology, this which we are calling it as a complex aspect of the child, which will become a strength of the child. Moving ahead, if the child has dysprasia, that is DCD, the verbal skills, the child is very good at the verbal skills, so we can modify our lesson plans and the deliverance with the empathy and intuition such that the child will be able to perform better. If the child has Tourette syndrome, the child has very good observational skills, cognitive control, and the creativity. And if the child has acquired neurodiversity with adaptability and empathy, with the mental health, depth of thinking, expression, resilience, we will be able to address all these strength, the spectrum of strength in our lesson plan and in our deliverance and in the tasks which are being assigned to the child, such that each child matters in a classroom will be adhered to. So moving ahead, we'll see how Learn by Chapter catered to this. So how do we build a bridge between the mind sense to the inclusive practice? So if this is there as a theory, how we bring it as an inclusive practice in a classroom situation? We can use our understanding of the cognitive processes. So far, we have seen what all different cognitive processes which are being involved in it. To design, we will be able to design the learning environments that every student can thrive. And this is the foundation or the strength of a strength-based classroom. A strength-based classroom is a place where the students with all sorts of labels come together as equals to form a new type of learning environment where there is no such as a normal student, where each and every child is viewed as wonderful. So this is what Learn by Chapter helps the teachers to have a very comfortable teaching experience and for the learner to make it a more joyful and enjoyable, exciting learning experience, such that making the whole ecosystem of learning as the most joyful experience, thereby it contributes to the happiness index of not only the institution, not only of the nation, but also to the whole world. So these are the actionable strategies for a strength-based classroom. How can we just change the normal classroom to a strength-based classroom? Remember, it is not the normal classroom. We are going to focus only on the strength of each and every child. So provide quiet areas of learning, clearly defined space for belongings, use games and activities to practice social interactions, equip sessions with AI and AR for students to explore, use multisensory learning to teach skills, use often variety of ways to express self, leverage computer programs and allows the student to overcome obstacles, design innovative thinking strategies tailored to each student who is unique, and model appropriate behaviors through role models and videos, etc. So if we have the components in our lesson plan, in our deliverance, to address all these things, definitely our normal classroom will become a strength-based classroom. And this is what Learn by Chapter is trying to provide you. It's for you to make use of it. And with the framework of success, with the positive niche construction, that is, how is that, know thy neighbor is the basic principle of these kind of setups. So guiding positive niche construction is a practice of differentiating instruction for a neurodiverse brain, and it consists of 7 key components. In the sense, strength awareness, knowing thy neighbor, that is knowing one's strength, positive role models, technology assistance, universal design thinking, strength-based learning strategies, human resources with positive career aspirations, and environmental modification. Once if we do this, definitely not only our classroom, not only our school, the whole world will be a better place to live in. So this is what Learn by Chapter is trying to do. And with the foundation, how to go about it with the basic is that building the foundation for success with 7 C's of resilience. Means if there is a problem, doesn't matter how to overcome that problem with the metacognition ability, and how to become resilient to face those adversities, to change those challenges, to combat those challenges, and making those challenges as an opportunities to succeed. This is what the 7 C's of resilience is all about. Building in the competence with the feeling of knowing we can handle any situation effectively, building in the confidence of the child's belief in their own abilities, with the developing connection, close ties with the family and the community with a sense of security, developing a character for the child, developing set of morals and values, thereby contributing and with the realizing the world is a better place, that they are also into it, and coping up to deal with the situation effectively with the stress and overcoming the challenges, and controlling and realizing that they can control and overcome any kind of adversities or adversified situations. So Learn by Chapter really contributes to all these 7 C's of resilience in a very in a more systematic way, in a more scientific way, through all those resources which are being provided. So what happens? Our beliefs shape our reality. Starting from the Pygmalion of the classroom studies, we have known that the teachers have higher expectations of the students, fostering higher achievement. This neurodiversity emphasizes that looking at the students in terms of their gifts, their strength, their positive view pays off its dividends as students raise up to the expectations of the teachers. So Learn by Chapter really contribute to it through diagnostic assessments, with the practice papers, and with the home assignments, etc. We are there to support you, and we do provide all these things catering to that, such that neurodiversity as a catalyst for school-wide reform. When you use that, this becomes not only for you as a teacher, as a learner, as a student, as a learner, but also for the whole school and for the whole nation, as it becomes a canary of the coal mine analogy. Neurodiverse students are like canaries in the coal mine. Their difficulties warn us about certain systematic issues in education. So we need to correct those issues. So their needs help us to reform and refine the system with the focus on inclusion that ensures every learner's benefits. So this definitely Learn by Chapter. That's why I always say that Learn by Chapter is a blessing such that which will be able to help achieve this. So the result is that universal design thinking, and this means more hands-on experiential project-based, art-based learning system and an education system designed for neurodiversity will benefit all learners in our community. So at every stage, at every process, every single way, Learn by Chapter is trying to do it. So the students in our classrooms can change the world, and we often think of changing individuals, world-changing individuals as superheroes, in the sense. But when you look at our lives, when you see something different, they both had immense strength and significant challenges. Like, for example, if you see people with neurodiversities, Dr. Winston Churchill has a contact disorder and speech impairment. Dr. Thomas Alva Edison had clear signs of ADHD. Dr. Agatha Christie was a dyslexia. So these kids, definitely, they were kids, they had special needs, and definitely we can't miss in this list the most famous scientist, Albert Einstein. So these kids with special needs in our classroom may be the ones to make the crucial discoveries or key decisions for our world in the coming days. So sometimes it is a people, no one can imagine anything, but it is of who you do the things no one can imagine. So definitely Learn by Chapter is the only way to take it forward. So pathways ahead towards the inclusion movement. Let's see in detail how Learn by Chapter cater to this. And now we need to go to Learn by Chapter to show how Learn by Chapter facilitates the whole learning process. So as we see, what we are at Learn by Chapter is learn smarter, teach better, and perform exceptionally well. And it's the world's most powerful CBSE resource platform for classes grade 6 to 12, empowering students, teachers, and the schools worldwide. And who we are, Learn by Chapter is a global education platform offering chapter-wise NEP-aligned resources for grades 6 to 12 across CBSE subjects and streams. We are proudly built by School of Educators and powered by the legacy of excellence of Nagin Group of Schools, and the whole content is copyrighted and developed by Adam Resources, which is a trusted academic publishing house. So having known that, what do we offer is that we offer courses from grade 6 to 12. And if you take each course, each class, we offer courses for students, we offer courses for teachers. So when we offer courses for students, it's with the old NCERT and the new NCERT as well. So when we go further, as we go to each course, let me take grade class 10, for example, and let me go to the teacher's course. So when you come to grade 10, you can see the courses are being offered for in 4 different subjects, that is English, Science, Maths, and Social Science, and also Hindi. So let me take Science by example, if I can. Grade 10 Science that we are going to look into. So this is what it is in all. So if you see what all things that we offer is that chapter-wise podcast that you can see, and the chapter-wise notes which is more aligned to the NCERT guidelines, recommendations, with comprehensive topic-wise notes are also given. Comprehensive chapter-wise Hindi notes are also there. Case study questions with the solutions, interactive PowerPoint presentations. Sorry. concept-wise, video lessons are there. Bloom's taxonomy based on lesson plans, multiple intelligence-based activities, topic-wise practice activities, cross-curricular links. When we talk about interdisciplinary studies, it is otherwise called as cross-curricular projects. It is also there with daily practice problems, that is the daily practice papers which are being there. Previous year board questions, which is being answered with a question bank, and real life applications case studies are there. Bloom's taxonomy's multiple intelligence activity grid is there, and topic wise learning outcomes, art related projects with the daily mind mapping structures or the projects which are being there, with which is more used kind of a revision aspect, and category wise quizzes are being there to review your learning process. So as we go further, if we take chapter 1, science, which is a sample lesson. Yeah. So when we open it like this, so you have the first chapter is chemical reactions and equations. So as you click, you can see the podcast being there in English. With very clear sound clarity.
Hey there, welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping right into something really fundamental. Chemical reactions and equations.
Yeah, we're basically looking at chapter 1 of the class 10 insert science textbook.
Bro, looks tricky.
It can seem that way, but there's a method. Step 1, mentally put boxes around each formula. Don't change inside the box.
Got it. Step 2, count the atoms of each element on both sides.
Okay, so left, 1 Fe, 2H, 1 O.
Yeah.
Right, 3 Fe, 2H, 4 O. They definitely don't match.
Step 3, start with the most complex formula, FeSO here, and the element with the most atoms in it.
That's oxygen, with 4 atoms. On the left, we only have 1 oxygen in HO.
So step 4, we need 4 oxygen atoms on the left. We put a coefficient of 4 in front of HO, now it's Fe, plus 4 HO plus 8.
Or more reactive.
Activity 1.9 shows that
these kind of podcasts really help the learners in a big way. That is, they can hear it anytime as they want, not necessarily in a classroom situation when they are in the classroom. Even the learners or the teachers, when they enroll themselves with a Learn by chapter, they are free to use this anytime at any point of the day, and wherever they are, they will be able to use it and they will be able to hear that. So when it comes to the comprehensive chapter-wise notes which are there, let's go there. And it is available in 2 languages, English and Hindi. It's loading. That's why it's taking time. So as you can see, it's CBSE class 10 notes are being there, and which are written by our eminent people who have worked in the backstage. So this really helps. As you see, this is how it looks. Topic-wise notes are there. Let me just take you through if I try to. So moving ahead, so interactive PowerPoints which are being there. It's loading. So for each and every topic, remember this is one topic that we are talking about. For each and every topic, all these resources are being there, and we are providing all these resources. Then chapter-wise plans which are being there. LO1, LO2, LO3, LO4, very clearly it is mentioned with the PISA integration and CAT4 level differentiation, with the pre-assessment, everything all under one. Then topic-wise, Bloom's taxonomy rubrics are also there for assessment with NCERT, which are more aligned to NCERT guidelines, as you can see. Again, I repeat, this is one chapter, one topic that we are talking about. Likewise, for each grade, each subject, each topic, each chapter, and then each topic, which is being, all these resources are given very systematically and more scientifically. And aligned with multiple intelligence-based lesson plans. As you can see, lesson plans are aligned with NCERT learning outcomes, with the key vocabulary, etc., with the introduction, starter activity, then peer activity, group activity, with the interactive and the resources, with the assessment also, and how the teacher also given guidance of exactly how it is integrated with the multiple intelligence, how it is aligned to the NEP 2020 alignment, with the extension of homework and the assignments and the projects, etc. So moving ahead with the STEM-based, STEM-aligned DIV projects, which are being integrated. Again, I repeat, this is for one single chapter, for that one single topic. So STEM-based activity, which is very clearly given in a more scientific way, with aim, objective, things needed, instruction, scientific explanation, how many activities are given for each and every topic that you can see. Finally, a summary of exactly how it is aligned to the NEP 2020 alignment and CBSE guidelines. That is also given. With cross-curricular DIY projects, means interdisciplinary aspect of it, balancing equations with Lego blocks, chemical reaction art. So how many activities are given? As teachers, you just have to take only those resources to the classroom and deliver it in the classroom. So moving ahead with art integrated learning projects, which are being there. These are also there to help them. And mind maps for quick revisions. And visual summary of the whole lesson or the whole topic. It's loading. So very clearly, it is being very systematically, very scientifically, each and every topic is being addressed. And with clearly defined learning outcome for each and every topic, with the foundational understanding of the competency-based education. So, the feather in the cap is the diagnostic assessment, where each and every child is being assessed at their own levels of learning. And if the child is getting stuck with one particular aspect or one particular concept, the diagnostic assessment process takes the child back to the lowest level where the child is very clear and moved ahead. Say, for example, if you ask me, for example, if you are testing them for multiplication, if the child is getting stuck again and again, we analyze it to the addition, because without addition, they will not be able to succeed in multiplication, isn't it? So, with this stage of exactly different levels of addition, though we are dealing only with multiplication, our diagnostic assessment takes it to the process or map it to the process of the different levels of addition and give the remedials, give the recommendation, give the remedials for learning that particular concept very clearly, and it takes it forward. So it is more related from the past, present, and the future. So this is how the learning process is being conceptualized and it is being provided. So moving ahead, and with the flash learn, the child is able to. And with the another thing is, the very important thing, these are not only theory-based questions where the child has to write all the times, even MCQs are there, quick answers are there, quiz methods are being, quiz question papers are there, and also these kind of flashcards which are there as a powerful tool for identifying the learning gaps and giving them very crystal clear, comprehensive, real feedback such that the child is able to learn on its own, understanding its own shortcomings. So this is how it is, and this is for each and every chapter. And also for doing this, so many question papers which are being used, that is PPP, practice makes a man perfect. So these kind of question papers, which are practice sessions, the child will be able to benefit much better. And the teachers, if you're a teacher, you will be able to use all these practice papers to enhance the learning process to time and again, such that you will be able to give ample practice to your students. So moving ahead, and not only these are the courses, but there are courses for the principals as well as educators. If this is for a classroom situation, there are again courses for the school principals, CEOs, founders, and directors and teachers. That is AA in schools for beginners, STEM-based learning at school, and the principal's diary on the course of exactly, and the CEO and directors can. These are the courses that they can take for enhancing their own professional development. Now, if you say that, okay, fine, if you are interested, what do we do? How do we help you? we just take you for the affiliate program. You can come to our affiliate program and you can enroll here as such. You can apply online, pay out and take our support very clearly. So this is what the whole session is all about. And so thank you so much. So how many of you have actually enrolled for Learn by Chapter? This is what I would like to know. Yes, it's a paid course. Yes, dear, it's a paid course, sir. Thank you, Mr. Rishabh. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rohini. So the messages are coming here in the chat box, definitely. So you can enroll yourself for our programs and make use of it. It will be really, really helpful for you as a teacher and also as a student. And thereby we can make our learning process the most joyful and exciting one. Expected, ma'am. How do I know? I'm just going through the messages. If anybody has got to say anything, contribute anything, definitely we value your inputs. Please go ahead. How many of you have enrolled for the program? That's what I would like to know. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. How many of you have enrolled for the program? Can you message me in the chat box, please? Who have already taken the membership? You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Whether the students of grade 10 can enroll this course? Yes, they can enroll. Definitely. Any class, any subject, they can enroll for all the subjects. Definitely. Yes, certificate will be given to you at the end of the session. As soon as the session is over, certificate will definitely come to you. Yeah, we can take any other subject. Definitely. Not only the science stream. Definitely we'll take other subjects as well. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Any other question? Any other question? We are providing solutions for 4 subjects. That is English, Maths, Science, Social Science, and also Hindi. So definitely we will be able to. When you enroll, you will get to know, dear. You'll have to take our affiliate program. You have to click on the affiliate program. You can take the membership. Definitely. For the school counselor, very soon we are coming up with career counseling projects. So definitely we'll start working on that, and definitely we'll be coming up with programs for the school counselors as well. Definitely. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Any other question? Thank you so much. Thank you. Any other question? I have. Definitely. Thank you. Foundation staff. Foundation staff, I didn't get that actually. Is it foundation stage are we talking about, or the operation staff that you're planning? Can you please make me clear or our team clear? What do you mean by foundation staff, please? Thank you. For counselor program, you're interested. Thank you, Ms. Vijayashree. Very soon we'll come up with a counselor program, definitely career counseling sessions. We really have, plans of doing it. Any other program for economics teachers of grade 11 and 12? Yes, yes, we can think about it. Definitely, we will come up with that. You mean special program you want? Okay, we'll think about it. Art integrated project, it is there. It is there in the art integrated project, which is there in the art integrated resources. Okay, not only for career counseling, but also counseling sessions, you mean? Okay, definitely, you take it up. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for all those inputs that have come in. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And if you enroll yourself with Learn by Chapter, all these PowerPoints and everything will be available to you. You can conduct these sessions in your schools. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next week topic, I'll let you know. I'll let you know about the next week topic, definitely. Thank you. For history and politics teachers. Okay, we'll think about it, definitely. Business studies. Since it is more related to LBC, Learn with Chapter resources, we are trying to give it in a more scientific manner exactly how to address a classroom situation. That's what we're thinking. Of course, for the topics of history and economics, so many things can be handled. Very soon we'll come up with all those ideas, and those inputs are really valuable to us, definitely. Thank you. Thank you. Session for kindergarten very soon, very soon. Definitely, it's a good suggestion. We'll come up with that session for kindergarten. Yeah. Plan sessions for NCF foundation stage. Okay, that's a good state. That's a good thing. Okay, that's a good suggestion. Maybe we'll take it up immediately. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Any other inputs? Sessions for entrepreneurship, sessions for kindergarten, definitely we'll take it up. So these are the topics that you really want to come up with. Definitely. Maybe kindergarten will take up. Thank you. Thank you so much. Session for student self-motivation. I think we did it for resilience. During the resilience also we did that. You mean self-motivation, motivated towards studies you think about. Yeah, sure. Thank you. Mr. Vivek, your hands are up. Please go ahead. Ms. Roshni, kindly unmute Mr. Vivek. I think you would like to say something. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening, sir. Yeah.
Thank you for your sessions are always informative one. I would like to appreciate this post. And let me ask you one thing. How can we have effective teaching learning process with the help of neurodiversity?
That's what is the thing. Since when you take multiple intelligences, which is being incorporated with Learn by Chapter, when we talk about neurodiversity, what we are talking about different competencies of the students. As I told you, we don't look at the deficit aspect of it, means ADHD and dyslexia, dyscalculia. We don't look at those deficits, but rather we think about the strengths of the child and contribute in that way. We modify our lesson plans, we modify our tasks which are being given, assigned for students. That's why if you see the tasks which are given for student to perform or the teacher to incorporate in the lesson, there are different tasks, different activities which are being, complemented with the activities which cater to these kind of intelligences. In the sense, like, we don't look at the deficit and the deficiencies of the child. Rather, we look at the strengths of the child. We call them as intelligences, and we incorporate it to the multiple intelligences. That's why if you see our lesson plans, if you see our projects which are being there, they are being addressed in that way, such that in a more heterogeneous classroom, imagine if that's so, then this really helps the whole process.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Yes, Mr. Hemant.
Thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Any other person? So it's time to end the session. Thank you so much. And we would like you to really enroll yourself with Learn by Chapter. And yes, Ms. Balamba, please go ahead.
From first year, standard social, history and geography, ma'am.
Yeah, definitely. We'll come up with those sessions, ma'am. Thank you. Well noted. You have made note of those, those suggestions that you have given.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.